We talk about listeners planning epic date nights all the time.
Yeah, I'm impressed by some of them.
But this one could literally go down in the record books.
What?
Wow.
And when I say literally, I do mean literally.
Oh,
Okay.
they were like breaking records?
And when I say go down,
Oh, what?
you know.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
all right.
must have been a good time then.
Anyway,
Record breaker.
welcome Kyle to the show. What's up, Kyle?
Not much. How you guys doing?
Oh,
Hey, what's up, buddy?
Wow.
you sound like a crazy record breaker, Kyle.
Yeah, it sounds like you got a lot of energy. So tell us about the girl that you went out with. What's her name?
Her name's Abby. She's pretty awesome. We met on Hinge.
Okay.
So-
How long did you talk with Abby before your guys' first date?
I don't know, maybe like a good week,
Okay.
Okay.
maybe even a little bit more than that.
What did you find attractive about Abby?
Well, I mean, she's beautiful. Like a lot of her photos were travel, like around the world, and I love traveling. And she looks like she likes to have a lot of fun. And
You
so,
know that's a strategy, right? That we put those photos. Okay.
Yeah.
nice.
Of course. And it
Just
worked,
checking.
Alexis.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay, so what did you and Abby end up doing for your date? You mentioned something about breaking records in your email.
yeah. So she's got a pretty crazy schedule. So we were having a hard time pinning down a date, and like the only time she had open was a night I already had an event planned with some of my buddies.
Okay.
So
Okay.
I just thought, you know what? My friends are nice guys, and even though it was a big event, I would have a lot of time to like spend with her. So I invited her along.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
No?
Like,
No.
no, there's not very much pressure. You know, it's more of a hangout, like get to know you situation. I mean, I guess depending on what the event was with your buddies.
That's
Maybe I
true.
should ask that.
Yeah, what was it?
Yeah, so I guess like in hindsight, maybe it wasn't the best thing
Uh-oh.
to invite her to. So like you've heard of the Guinness Book of World Records, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Never heard of it.
So I have always, since I was a kid, always wanted to be in it. And I found one that my friends and I have been working towards. So, okay, my buddy owns a bar.
Okay.
It's the Guinness Book of World Records has a woman in Germany. She opened 8 bottles of beer with her feet in under a minute.
Whoa.
Wait, you were trying to break that record that night?
I mean, it's not the first time I've tried, but this was like the real, like, this is going to be it.
Official.
Okay.
Wow.
I thought you said
dude.
you'd have time to talk to her.
Oh, dude. But having a girl watch you break a world record, like, there's no other.
Does that cut up your toes?
I'm sure it does.
Yeah, I mean, what are the rules of this?
So basically, you use like duct tape and you put bottle openers on your feet.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So
That sounds more realistic.
you're at a
Yeah.
bar with your buddy walking around with bottle openers duct taped to your feet trying to impress a lady.
Not the whole time. I mean, like just like for the competition. But of course, like when we walk in, all my friends are there. There's other people there who are like, they know what's happening. So they start chanting my name. They're like, Kyle, Kyle, Kyle. So she looks at me like, what is going on?
Wait a
But I
minute.
like,
You didn't prep her beforehand? She was looking around like, what's going on? You didn't tell her
Yeah.
what you were going to be doing?
yeah, sort of.
Oh,
So
man.
she walks in and like sees her date with bottle openers strapped to his bare feet, and she's thinking, "Oh God, this is the
I
guy."
hope nobody orders a beer.
I mean, look, I didn't want to brag about it. I didn't want to like say, I'm going to be doing this really cool thing.
No, you're right. You shouldn't brag about that.
I mean, the thing is, don't lie about the schedule. You invited her there because you were the star of the night and you thought you would impress her, which is fine. But let's just be honest right now.
of course.
Yeah, okay. Well, I mean, there's worse things. So I don't think it was that bad.
Okay. You know,
Okay.
It's
maybe
fine.
we're too quick to judge this.
Yeah, it sounds kind of fun.
Tell us more about what happened once Abby got there and you guys were hanging out with your bottle open feet.
Well, hold on. I was just like say the bottle openers weren't on my feet yet. We were
Okay.
just like having a good time, and then it was time. So I have to go get ready, put the bottle openers on my feet,
Mhm.
and then it's time. And you got to go. You got a minute. I've got to get 9 bottles open to beat the
Whoa.
record.
That's pretty fast.
Yeah.
Did you do
And-
it?
Jeez.
Unfortunately, I did not.
Oh.
Oh, how many did you get through?
No.
I got to the 6th bottle, but it just, I don't know. My feet were tired. It was a beast.
Wait, so
Ah.
I have a question because this record sounds really important to you. After you didn't do it, did you like pout? I mean, were you a sore loser?
Oh.
I don't think I was. It was one of those things, I wasn't going to let it ruin my life or even ruin my night.
Did you at
Okay.
least give her one of the opened foot beers?
Ew.
Ew.
He's like,
Could sign the back of it.
Gross.
I'll sign the back when I actually
Oh.
beat the record.
He's like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Makes
look,
sense.
I'll make you a martini. Grabs
Makes
the shaker
sense.
with his foot. And
Yeah.
just starts-
Yeah, that's true. You don't want to drink out of one of the shameful failed
Hey.
foot beats.
Yeah,
Yeah,
true,
no.
true.
You know what they say about a man that's good with his feet, though?
That's good with
He's
the
What?
weird.
I don't know, but
Okay.
it sounds
Oh.
like the good start of something.
Yeah, maybe. So, I mean, it sounds like kind of a fun event for the crowd, but was there
Yeah.
any actual romance happening between
Yeah.
you and Abby during this whole time?
Doesn't seem romantic.
No.
No.
But it's funny. There was a part where I told her, we're talking about the competition. I said, anybody could do this. I bet you could do it. Let me see your feet. And, she took her shoe off and she let me see her foot. And that was pretty cool.
That's pretty
Okay,
Wow, yeah,
you're
I
right.
love that.
Very
on a first
hot.
Date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, how long has it been since this happened?
Almost 2 weeks.
2 weeks. And how did you leave that
Oh.
night?
We both drove there separately. So it was a hug and a kiss on the cheek.
Okay.
All my friends were around. So I'm going to be,
Ah.
Oh,
You
okay.
missed the opportunity to drive her home with your feet, bro. Now that one is still the deal.
That's impressive.
Foot high five.
Yeah.
It's a good sign, though.
No.
It's a good sign, though, that she at least gave you a hug and a kiss at the end of the night. So maybe there is a chance here.
And showed her foot.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's racy. even.
Yeah.
So let's give it a shot. We're going to play a song. We'll come back, dial her number, maybe using my feet.
Oh, please don't,
Oh.
Jeff.
We could be here for 17 minutes, but we're going to do your second date right after this.
Thank you, guys.
All right, hold on, man. If you're just jumping into the second date, one of our listeners, Kyle, had a one-of-a-kind date night
That's
with
true.
a woman named Abby.
Very well said.
Yes.
I
Very
can't think of a
one
better
kind.
way to say that.
Yes.
So he brought her to a bar that one of his buddies owns, and the activity for the night was Kyle attempting to set a new world record for number of beer bottles opened with his feet.
It was like a whole event at the bar.
Yeah. If you're wondering, I guess you strap bottle openers to your toes, and you have to do it that way. 8 was the record to beat in under a minute.
For a minute.
And after the minute was up, Kyle only managed to open 6.
Oh, man.
No
so
wonder
close.
she's not calling him
Loser.
back. Yeah.
It was a failure, not just on setting the record, but it would seem also for the date because, like Brooke said, Abby has not been returning Kyle's calls. But Kyle, before we reach out to her, I want to leave you with this quote, okay? Failure defeats losers, but inspires winners.
Oh, deep.
I hate quotes.
I saw that spray painted.
Alexis doesn't understand it.
I saw that
like,
spray
who
painted on the
cares?
side of a wall of a methadone clinic, so I feel
Yeah,
like
That's
really
good.
it's
one.
worth repeating.
Have we ever considered that she was the last record holder and she was offended?
Was
Like,
she
was trying
It was
to
a
break
German
the record.
woman.
Yeah.
She could be German. We haven't called her yet.
Who knows? It's possible. Kyle, what do you think?
Sure.
Okay. I think you could come back from this, Kyle. I mean, that's the thing.
Really?
I don't think where you messed up is actually doing the world record thing. I think it's not telling her before you got to the bar, not preparing her for that event.
Yeah, maybe you're right. But I wasn't trying to trick her or anything. It was a surprise.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
weren't being
right.
a creeper or a weirdo or
Right.
anything. You were just doing your own thing.
It's
Right.
kind of a bro night.
It's always good for a person to have passions. Yours are just a little bit different than
Yeah.
others.
You're a little out there.
Did you hear,
Yeah.
Jose? You're not a creeper. You're just a guy that opens bottles with his feet.
Makes sense.
There's a
Exactly.
difference.
Right, so here we go. I feel ready to make this call. Do you feel ready?
I do, absolutely.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right.
right.
That's the winning attitude that we need.
Yeah,
I'm going to
let's
dial
go.
Abby's number right now. Here we go.
Hello,
Hey, I'm looking for Abby.
this is Abby.
Hi, Abby. My name's Jeff. I work on a morning radio show called Brooke and Jeffrey in the Morning.
Oh, I know your show.
Oh,
Oh, thanks, Abby. That's
Hey,
awesome.
let's remember this day.
I know.
This is a big day.
Maybe we should all retire now. Like, let's end on a high point. But no, Abby, so we're doing something called the second date. I guess you might be familiar with that.
Oh, yes, I am.
Okay,
Okay.
congratulations.
So,
Oh,
yeah, I mean, congratulations is a word.
Hey, it means somebody really likes you.
Yes, that's true, Abby. And so, obviously, you know how this works. Someone's trying to get a hold of you. Their name's Kyle.
oh gosh, of course it is.
Okay.
It sounds like
It
it sounds like you two had a very memorable night.
Yes.
Yes, it was weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
'cause-
said it, not us.
So, yeah, Kyle did tell us a little bit about the night. Why don't you tell us about your perspective on it?
Did he tell you the activity?
Yeah, the world record for
Attempt.
opening bottles with his feet.
Yes.
When did you find out that was what he was doing that night? Because he also told us that he didn't tell you about it.
No. And that was the first thing that was jarring to me, because I'm thinking we're just going to go to a bar and like get to know each other, and it's going to be him and I. And like, I knew this was a bar that his friend owned. And so I'm like, oh, cool, I'll get to meet his friend.
Yeah.
But I did not expect all of his friends to be at the bar. And I certainly didn't expect when we walked into the bar for them to be chanting his name.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
That must have felt pretty cool.
No, this is like horrifying for me.
Were you thinking that a lot of the people there thought you were just a groupie?
I kind of think I lost the ability to think for a minute because I just was like in shock.
So wait, at that point, when they're chanting his name, you still have no idea why.
No.
Oh, no.
So after the chanting like dies down and his friends are coming up and like, hey man, you ready? And he tells me, he's like, okay, here's the thing. I'm going to try to beat a Guinness World Record tonight. I was like, what? And then he tells me what it is.
Uh-huh.
Again, what?
Yeah.
So are you saying the reason you're not calling him back is because of just the surprise of finding out what the activity for the night was?
Well, that's one reason, but there are more.
Oh,
more.
okay.
Yeah, so we're there and we're like, things are settling down and like, I'm feeling a little better and this is going to be okay. And I'm like, it's just a silly thing, right?
Right.
So he goes over like against the wall and he takes off his shoes and he's doing these feet exercise things against the wall.
Oh.
Stretches.
Okay.
There's just something about being barefoot in a bar that grosses me out.
Right.
Yeah, it's kind of like gag worthy.
Uh-huh.
And so then like I'm going toward him to like see what kind of exercises he's doing. And his friend intercepts me and is like, so glad that Kyle brought you, but you can't really talk to him right now. And like, you need to leave him alone because he has to focus.
Oh.
no.
Are you talking like 5 minutes before he does this thing, or?
I don't know what time he's going to do his thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I wonder what Kyle would think about this because, as you probably know, Abby, Kyle's been on the other line listening this entire time and he wants to talk to you.
I forgot that part.
Oh, you did.
Oh.
Kyle, put your foot up to the speakerphone, okay? Because we want to be able to hear you.
Hey, Abby.
Hi, Kyle. Hi.
So first, I just want to say I did not realize that my friends like took you aside.
Yeah.
I did not tell them to do that. That was way out of line.
Okay.
Sometimes your friends can be overprotective.
Yeah.
So I just want to say I apologize for that. And like, I'm not trying to make a joke here, like no puns, but like he really put his foot in his mouth.
Okay. That was a pun.
That was well done.
Nice, dude.
I approve.
No.
Hey, that's a good start though, Kyle. I mean, Abby.
Thank you. I appreciate that. But like something else that you didn't tell me that one of your friends told me that I just think is, I don't know, is that like if you were going to break the record, that you were probably going to be gone for a while because these people in Japan
What?
had offered you a position on some like game show tour over there to be like
What?
a professional feet bottle opener.
Wait, what does that mean, Kyle? Explain.
So I didn't mention anything because I thought, oh God, I wish my friends hadn't said anything. But yeah, so you guys know like lots of wild things are really popular in Japan. Like,
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
so they also have like there's like a lot of game shows and even talk shows that have people do like crazy things.
Yeah.
And one of them is like doing stuff with their feet, not like gross stuff. Well, sometimes it's gross, but not like dirty.
It's like it would all be gross.
So you're going to be on one of these weird Japanese game shows?
There's been some interest, and it's not like I'd be there for years. It'd be like 3 or 4 months.
Doing a little tour.
It's kind of awesome.
I mean, it is kind of cool. If you're going to be good at something, even if it's weird, be the best, right? Tour.
Yeah.
What a story, like in your life, to be like, well, let me tell you about what I
Okay,
did.
guys,
Yeah.
he didn't get the world record.
That's
Yeah,
But he's still
Yeah.
working on it.
But-
I think it's awesome.
Sure, I mean it's pretty cool, but maybe if you're planning to head over to Japan really soon, it's not the best time to try and start dating someone here.
Yeah, but nothing's for sure. There's never good timing in life, Jeffrey. And Abby, you like traveling. That's what he said. He said he saw on your profile that you like to travel.
Yeah, I do. I've actually always wanted to go to Japan.
But he doesn't need
See?
No, listen. If he wants the
Yeah,
ladies
okay.
in Japan see his feet tricks, he's going to be sworn with the ladies.
Okay.
You think you could tell your boss, hey, can I get 4 or 5 months off work? I'm going to go watch my boyfriend open bottles in Japan with his feet.
No, I don't think that would fly.
Aw.
Hey guys, can I just say though, money's not everything. but the kind of money that I would get paid, even like as a beginner, I could quit my job. I would only have to work for maybe 5 months a year.
That's cool,
What?
bro.
There's some perks there.
Oh,
Yeah.
look, now Alexis
I'm
thinks he's
interested.
hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
My feet can do a lot.
I mean, that's not too bad, though, either.
Does that
Foot
change
massage.
anything for you, Abby?
I don't know. I guess it's kind of more interesting than I thought.
And it's a
Yeah.
reason why he was
See?
taking it so seriously, right? There's actually
Yeah.
something on the line here.
I mean, you have to look at all the positives from this date. This is a guy who is committed to something very, very deeply. He's passionate. He's going to travel with you. He could possibly only work 4 to 5 months a year.
That'd be
Strong
so
feet.
sweet.
If you ever order a beer at a nice restaurant, he is going to be the coolest person ever.
Oh, yeah. Just
Right?
opening all sorts of stuff with his feet wherever you go. So I think maybe you should consider going out on another date with him. And if you do, we will pay for that date.
Ooh.
I think I will. I will.
Okay!
We did it! All right.
Abby, I promise you won't regret this. I'll make up that first date. I will keep my shoes on the whole time. I promise.
All right. Shoes on, but clothes off.
That is so awkward. It's so awkward.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
A listener named Rick is on the phone to do a second date update today, and he already knows that the girl he wants to call is not interested in going out with him romantically ever again.
Oh, so this is going to end well.
Yep.
Yeah, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
Because she texted him that and let him know that she doesn't want to go out.
Yeah,
But he
that's-
still wants to do a second date update. We'll get to what you texted in just a second. But Rick, why not just give up the fight, man?
I don't know. I feel like there was some, I don't know, just some unfortunate things that happened on the first date that really aren't an indicator of whether or not we should be together.
Okay, listen. Some people can't take a hint. That's not a hint. That is very direct.
Yeah, but I need a second chance. I want to convince this girl that she should go out with me. We had a nice time, and she was really, really hot. So I just wanted to see her again.
I love that that's always the first thing a guy says.
Well, I mean, that's, we didn't spend that much time together. I didn't get to know her that well.
All right, well, tell us a little bit about her. What's her name?
Her name's Kelly.
Kelly, and where did you meet Kelly?
We met online.
Okay.
She's really beautiful, and it seemed like from her profile, as far as I could tell, she was a really social girl, had lots of friends, and we went back and forth for about a week and a half, just texting each other, and we decided to meet up. We went out and got some drinks, and she said that it was her first time meeting up with somebody from online, which, I don't know, I kind of didn't buy.
Oh, you think she's lying about it?
Well, no, I just think that that's something that everybody says when they're meeting up with someone for the first time.
Yeah.
Nobody likes to admit that they're online dating.
Like, man, I've been on this site for 3 years now. Still can't make anything work.
For my 30th date.
Yeah. All right, so she told you it was her first time dating, but how did everything go with you two? Like, why do you think she doesn't want to go out with you again?
Well, I don't know. There were just a couple of moments that were just kind of unfortunate. Like, I made this joke that she did not get, and I don't know, I have a pretty dry sense of humor, and
Wait,
Uh-oh.
she didn't get the joke or she didn't like the joke? Those are two different things.
she didn't get the joke.
Okay, what was the joke?
We were having a great conversation. We were laughing, going back and forth, and I just said, God, this is great. I think we should go ahead and make it official, don't you? Totally deadpan.
Oh, no.
Totally deadpan.
That's not very funny.
Yeah, the delivery was a little off.
Yeah. So she didn't laugh at that joke, huh?
Oh, no.
Yeah, no, she didn't think it was very funny. And I told her that I was joking, and she kind of laughed it off. And
Oh my God, she probably thinks you're lying about the joking line, and you think that she's lying about never online dating. You guys are really,
Trust
yeah,
me,
we're a
she's-
couple of liars. We're amazing.
yeah.
Yeah. I'm surprised this didn't work out. Did you recover from that joke, or was it awkward the rest of the night after you said that?
I mean, she kind of chuckled after I said I was joking, and she shrugged it off, and we continued to have an okay evening. And then she went to the bathroom, and yeah, we were kind of getting ready to say goodnight, and she came back, and I paid the bill, and she said, this is kind of embarrassing, but she said, she's like, I don't know if you know this, but your shirt's inside out. And
That's awesome.
She was right. My shirt was totally inside out. I don't know how.
No, wait.
So
To be
bad.
fair, was it a T-shirt or a button-up?
It was a T-shirt.
All right.
Okay,
So you had your shirt inside out the whole time, and then you made an awkward joke about you two making things official like 30 minutes into your date.
Yeah. So
Oh,
this is why I'm
man.
saying I think I deserve another chance because there were a few hiccups that could have been avoided, and come on.
I just don't
would've
think
been
that
better.
those two things warrant a "I never want to see you again" text message.
Well, actually, she didn't say outright that she didn't want to see me again. Like, we said goodnight that night, and we text back and forth for about a week, and
Oh.
I don't know. I just felt like she was kind of keeping me at arm's length, Like,
Mhm.
she wasn't really giving me an opening to, ask her out again, and
Right.
then I finally did, just outright, and she said, I think maybe we'd be better off as just friends.
Oh.
It
All right.
sounded like a real nail in the coffin.
Yeah.
Have you guys talked since that text where she just said, let's be friends?
Well, I responded saying, "Really? Why? Come on, let's just let's grab some dinner." And she didn't respond to that. So,
Well, that's not a good friend.
exactly.
I always feel like when people send that text message, it usually means that they're just not attracted to you in that way. That maybe everything else is great about you, but they just have no sexual attraction towards you.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, someone who's gutsy enough to tell me that my shirt's inside out. She could have let that slide. She didn't have to tell me that.
Yeah. You'd think she'd give you just a straight up answer on what's wrong with you.
Yeah, exactly. Which is nothing.
Oh, okay. Mr. Confidence. I like that.
All right.
Wrong with him.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if that's true. We'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, okay?
All right.
All right, hold on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
All right, if you're just tuning in for today's second date update, Rick is on the phone, and he wants to call a girl named Kelly. We talked to him about his first date, and it sounded kind of like a disaster. But Rick, I think actually you got something way better than getting another date with this girl.
Really?
What's that?
You made a friend. That's right.
We all need more friends.
Rick made himself a friend because after their date, they were texting back and forth a little bit, and one of her texts said, "You know what? I think we're better off as friends." And that's the last time she's talked to him. So she's not really a good friend that you keep in touch with a
No.
lot, but she is a new friend, and I think you should just rejoice in that, Rick.
God.
I think that's a no from Rick. I don't think he's excited for some reason.
Yeah, got plenty of friends. Would really just like a second date.
Okay.
And were you really into her at the end of your first date, or is this one of those want what you can't have type of situations?
No, she's great. I really would like to see her again.
Okay.
That's the truth.
Okay, and just to recap, there was an awkward moment on the date when he made a joke that they should make things official. She didn't get the joke, so he thinks that could be reason number one why she just wants to be friends with him. And then he also was wearing his shirt inside out the whole time, and she waited until the date was over to tell him that. So
man.
that's another reason that he thinks she doesn't want to go out with him again. All right, Rick, I'm about to dial her phone number. Here we go.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Hi, I was looking for Kelly.
Yeah, hi. This is Kelly.
Hey, Kelly, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
Hi.
You familiar with the show?
The show?
Oh,
No, she just apparently knows another Jubal
All
from
right,
Brooke
yeah.
and Jubal in the morning.
you sounded
There's
like
more
you
of
knew who it was. Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. It's a radio show?
This is the radio show?
Yeah. I don't think it's who you thought was calling.
Yeah. Wrong number.
No.
The reason that I'm calling you is because one of our listeners actually emailed us and asked if we could get you on the phone.
Okay.
His name is Rick.
Rick?
Yeah, and Rick's kind of a friend of yours, like a new friend. You guys went out on a date together.
Oh my God. Rick?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Is that a good?
We do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. It's where if somebody goes out on a date with somebody and then gets blown off, they email us to see if we can get that person on the phone and ask what went wrong. So Rick,
He emailed you guys?
yeah, and he's curious why you don't want to go out with him again.
I already told him we could be friends.
Yeah, he did tell us that, but he's curious why he's being put in the friend zone right away because he would love to like go out on an actual date with you again.
Oh my God.
And you know that friend thing was a lie because, according to him, you haven't texted him again after wanting to be friends.
Well, yeah.
So can you tell us why you don't want to go out with him again?
You know, I was so hesitant to do online dating because, one, I liked meeting people the old-fashioned way, but my friends were like, no, it's so much fun, you have to do it. But they all had horror stories of how everybody lied on their profile.
Yeah.
It happens.
I've never heard anyone say it's so much fun.
Yeah.
So you gave in and did it, and you met Rick.
Did he lie about his profile? Is that what you're getting to?
Yeah, he is a liar.
Whoa.
What did he lie about? Did he look different?
No, he looked exactly like his photos.
Okay.
So that was
good.
nice.
That's
he
good,
looked,
at
he represented himself the same in the photos.
Okay.
It was like everything else in the profile kind of seemed like a lie.
So was he like an entrepreneur, but it turns out he lives in his mom's basement or something?
Kind of similar. I'm a very active person, and what really drew me to his profile was his interests. He said he loved hiking, he loved rock climbing, snowboarding, and photography.
Yeah.
And these are all things I am very passionate about. So
And
I was hoping to meet somebody where we had similar interests that we could do these things together.
Mm-hmm.
Right. That's a pretty sexy profile, I'm not going to lie. I would be turned on by those things too.
Yeah. And when the conversation happened and I would bring up, like I talked about going snowboarding once a year with my family, and something I look forward to every year, and I take my snowboarding very seriously. And he had nothing to say about snowboarding.
what?
Well, maybe he just didn't have anything to add into the conversation. That doesn't mean he doesn't bored.
Yeah.
But then I brought up hiking because his profile says, I love hiking. All caps. I love hiking.
All right.
And I said, hey, when's the last time you went hiking? And he just threw up his hands in the air and shrugged his shoulders and said, I don't know.
And you said it was in all caps on his profile that he loves hiking?
All caps.
Whoa.
Exclamation point.
All right.
It's such a weird thing to lie about.
Well, that's like the basic thing to say, right? I love hiking. I love outdoors.
Yeah, if you want to seem like an outdoorsy type of person, you just say you like to hike.
Yes, it was just so strange. He had nothing to add about this, so I kept asking more questions about the rock climbing and mountains he liked, and he would just stare at me with like a blank stare.
So,
Then I talked about photography
Yeah.
and asked him what's his favorite camera, and he said, I don't know, I just use my phone.
super passionate, obviously.
iPhone.
Yeah.
So I have no idea what's going on with his profile, if he just copied somebody else's or if he thought it was good bait to get women to respond to his profile.
Yeah, to seem like adventure dude.
Love it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just so bizarre, like such a weird thing to lie about.
Well, this is going to be a good experience for you, too, because he's actually on the other line listening
Yes.
and would like to
What?
talk to you about his interests. Yeah. He's actually on the other line.
He's on the other line.
Yeah.
Hey, Kelly.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow. Big misunderstanding here.
Yeah, sounds like it, Rick. It's one way to word it.
so you heard everything. Everything I said was true, right? Can you explain why you put all those things on your profile?
Well, I put them on my profile because I'm interested in them.
But it doesn't sound like you do any of them.
Well, no, I mean, not as much as I would like to, but I work 60 hours a week. I work really hard, and yeah, the last time I went hiking was well over a year ago with some friends, and I had a great time. But I don't have the opportunity to go with them every time that they go.
Rick, you said you never went snowboarding. And then your profile says it's a passion of yours.
I mean, I guess passion is a little strongly worded, but I don't know. I think it's really cool. Like I watch YouTube videos and.
So there you go, Kelly. He is passionate about it. He's watching YouTube videos of snowboarding.
See what I mean? He's a liar.
Rick, I can't believe that this is the first time this has been an issue for you in all of your online dating experience. Like, no one else has brought up the fact that you say you love snowboarding and have never actually gone?
Well, no, because most girls are just interested in talking about themselves.
You know, Rick, I'm not like that. I enjoy talking to the other person. I enjoy getting to know somebody else. So I think you owe it to other women you're going to be dating to represent yourself accurately. I think you should change your profile.
Whoa.
That you like Netflix.
Yeah, there you go, Rick. I'm passionate about watching snowboarding on YouTube. That would be a better way to put it.
But I'm not going to change my profile. I said that I love snowboarding because I love snowboarding and I love hiking. Yeah, I don't go every day or every week, but
Or ever.
every time I've done it, I really enjoy it. So yeah, it's an interest. I'm not gonna say on my profile that I'm interested in algebra, which is what I do every day. I mean, like, come on.
See? But I think you're not giving people a chance to get to know the real Rick. I mean, I understand that there's a lot of pressure when you fill out those dating profiles to sound like a really cool person, and sometimes when you put yourself on paper, you realize how boring you are. But there's got to be something that you're passionate about that other people are passionate about too.
Does being passionate about something mean that you have to do it? Like,
Well,
guess
generally,
not,
yes.
I think so.
yeah, not
Yeah.
really at all. Like,
Rick, at least you should try it once if you're passionate about it. You can't say you're passionate about it and have never done it.
okay,
Like, so you come off a liar.
Okay, Kelly, I get what you're saying, but I think that calling me a liar is a little harsh, don't you think? I mean, yeah, okay, maybe I do need to try something before I say that I'm passionate about it. I mean, maybe you could take me snowboarding. I would love that.
Hey, there you go. Kelly, would you like to go out on a second date with Rick? We will pay for it. Not the snowboarding, that's expensive, but like we'll pay for you guys to go out and maybe set up a snowboarding date.
You know, I'm a little hesitant because he lied, but I'm also very interested to see him on a snowboard.
All right. So is that a yes? You will take Rick to experience his passion for the first time ever.
And you guys are paying for this.
We'll talk about the snowboarding thing, but we'll get you out there.
In that case, I would be honored.
Oh my God. Rick is going to hate it. The first day of snowboarding is like
Yeah.
the worst day of your life. You
Well-
will never have a more hurt butt ever.
No, this is going to be awesome. I'm really looking forward to getting out there and discovering more about my passion.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
I think everybody who does online dating learned a very valuable lesson today from the second date update, and that is lie on your profile
No.
as much
That's not.
as you want, because it doesn't matter. You'll get another date anyway.
Well, you don't
If you
learn-
missed it, Rick wanted to call a girl named Kelly. They went out on a date. They met online. It turns out that the reason she didn't want to go out with him again was because all of the things that he listed as interests on his profile, he didn't know anything about. Not at all. He said that snowboarding was a passion of his, and he's never even been snowboarding. He's just seen videos on YouTube and thought he could list that as a passion. So she's like, he lied about everything.
And I like when we called him, I mean, or when she had confronted him, he stuck to it. Like, he didn't
This is
just
passion,
say,
yeah.
you're right, I made it up to meet chicks.
Yeah.
He said, no, it's still a passion of
I
mine.
don't have to do it to love it.
Yeah, you can still watch it and enjoy it. Anyway, they did decide to go out again, and maybe she can take him snowboarding someday.
Yeah.
We'll see how that one goes. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back. Doors. When one closes, another one opens.
Oh my gosh, you are so inspirational today.
Unless you can't figure out how to open that door, and then you stand there outside of the Starbucks for 15 minutes trying to pull it when it's a push door, and everybody's laughing at you, so you just sit down on the sidewalk and cry for an hour while everybody points and makes fun of the idiot who can't read how to open the door correctly.
Wow, and all you wanted was a latte.
We've all learned that lesson in life. And so has Luke, who's on the phone for a second date right now. He actually met the girl that he wants to call today because he couldn't figure out how to open a door.
No, Luke.
That's right.
What's up, Luke?
What up?
Were you crying outside of a Starbucks like Jubal said?
Pretty close. Pretty close.
Oh man.
Really?
So she must go after the smart guys, is what you're saying.
Well, I wasn't smarter than the door that day, but at least I was able to meet a girl out of it.
There you go.
So how does that work?
Well, I thought I was going into this building for a job interview, but I'm yanking on the door and the damn thing won't open.
I can still hear the frustration in your voice.
Yeah.
We've all been there.
So I'm about to give up, and this beautiful girl on the other side of the door asked me if she can help me, and I'm like, yeah, can you punch a code or something to let me in? I'm late for my interview. She pushes the door open and says, there's no code, just open the door properly.
So you were
wait.
supposed to just pull on the door and you were pushing on it for how long?
It must have been 30 seconds at least.
Oh.
So she comes over, she opens the door for me, kind of laugh about it, and it was an opportunity to strike up a conversation.
All right.
And I assume that went well because you eventually went out with this girl.
That's right. Yeah, she, you know what? She pointed me to the direction of the elevator, which was nice. And
She pressed the button for you too? Like, here, let me show you how this works.
I could figure that part out.
How did you go from her opening the door for you to eventually going on a date with her?
So our conversation went from the door to the fact that she actually works at the business that I was trying to get a job at. So I kind of asked her for a little bit of advice, who to talk to, who to schmooze. And I really felt like we had a connection, and she was hooking me up, so I wanted to hook her up. I asked her out for a drink.
Right there before your interview.
Yeah, I did, man. I mean,
Wow.
she was hot and helpful and sweet. You know, I had to ask her out for a drink.
Okay, and
Nice.
she obviously said yes, which is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, she did. We got to go out on a date, I guess, if you want to call it that.
Well, what'd you do?
We went out to a bar and we had a few drinks, listened to some music.
Okay, I would call that a date. You said that's if you want to call it a date. I would definitely call that a date.
Yeah.
I don't know what else it would be.
Yeah, I'll call it it was a date. I mean, it was a hot date.
Wow.
So you went out for drinks, listened to some music. How was everything with her? Was it a good time? Do you think she enjoyed herself?
Well, judging by the smile on her face and a little bit of the way she brushed up against me a couple of times,
Oh,
I
that's
do
nice.
think she enjoyed herself.
Dude,
And
that's
you
a
guys-
good sign.
You guys were able to talk about stuff other than the company that she works for, right?
Oh, yeah. We talked about all kinds of things. Talked about her hobbies, what she likes to do. My ears are open, and, you know, you have to take what someone says, and then you have to adjust and use that to your advantage, especially when you're talking about interpersonal relationships, you know, female, male.
I know you started this whole situation meeting her when you were going in for a job interview, but that sounds like a really good interview answer.
Yeah.
I'm ready to hire him.
Yeah.
Or date him.
Well, I was cued in, so I got the job, actually.
You did?
Oh, yeah.
Dude, you got a date and a job out
Congrats,
of
man.
one interview. Nice work, man.
Exactly. But that's the problem. During the date, I told her that I got it,
Yeah.
and she kind of got a little bit cold on me.
What?
Really?
I don't know if I took a position that she might have been gunning for or something,
Oh.
but I think that she didn't want to mix business with pleasure, I suppose.
Wow.
Dude, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
So how did everything end?
At the end of the night, I got a little bit of nookie from her, a little bit of kiss.
Oh,
Wait, that's
okay,
not
so-
nookie.
yeah.
That is, we need to redefine nookie, sir.
I was like,
Well,
nice.
there was some wetness on her lips.
What?
So
No. Oh, my God.
look, she licked her lips before she kissed me. I'm telling you, I
Okay.
tasted it.
All right.
Just by that description alone, I wouldn't call you back.
And how long has it been since you've heard from her after you shared that wet kiss?
It's been 5 days now.
Okay.
Oh, that's
And
not good.
I mean, I've called her like 3 times, and I've texted her about 5 times. I don't know. I'm gonna have to work with this girl, and
Right.
I need to smooth it out before we start. If she's not gonna be down with me sexually or whatever, that's fine. But we need to like get along because I need this gig.
Okay.
Oh my
well,
God, it's like I thought
we
you
will-
were so normal, and in 2 seconds, you changed my entire opinion.
we will play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date, and then we'll find which way she's down with you, okay?
That sounds good.
All right. Hang on. If you're just joining us for today's second date, Luke is on the phone, and today he wants to call a girl that he shared a sloppy, wet kiss with. That's how he described the kiss at the end of the date. He actually met her because he was going into an office to interview for a job, and she was in the lobby when he was trying to open the door, and I guess he couldn't get the door open, so she helped him. They struck up a conversation, and he asked her to drinks. They went out for drinks, said they had a good time, ended with that sloppy kiss. But now she's not calling him back, and he thinks it might be because he actually got the job in that office, and maybe she doesn't want to date a coworker.
Could it also be because you're a bad kisser?
Well,
Sorry, just the description.
we didn't get our lips moving that much, to be honest. It was wet, but it wasn't. She didn't stick her tongue, out for me.
Yeah, but no, I'm just telling you. Out of all
She
the
licked
female
her lips.
conversations,
It was wet.
all the female conversations I've ever had, no girl has ever said, "Wow, it was such a good kiss. It was so wet."
Well, she made it wet. I mean, that's where it was. I just went in, and that's how.
Okay.
Way it felt.
So it was a sloppy kiss with no tongue. That sounds...
No one's ever complained about the way I've kissed them before, so she didn't this time, and maybe it'll happen, but it hasn't yet.
Well, she hasn't complained yet. We don't have her on the phone to find out, do we?
Well, maybe we can ask her. That'd be one place to start.
That's what
I'd
I think.
like to know if my lips are working properly.
That's what I think we should do, Luke. What I'm trying to get to is that I'm going to dial her phone number and see if we can get her on the phone and get your second date, okay? Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
All right. Here we go.
This is Antoinette.
Hi, Antoinette. How are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
I'm sorry, what?
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning.
How can I help you?
Well, I actually wanted to talk to you because one of our listeners sent us an email about you.
Are you sure you have the right number?
I think so. Yeah, this was the number that I was given. Your name's Antoinette, right?
Yes, it is.
Okay, yeah. Then I definitely have the right number because you recently went out on a date with a guy who listens to our show, and you haven't been calling him back. So he emailed us to see if we could get you on the phone and find out if he did something wrong.
What?
I know, it's really weird, huh?
Is this a joke?
No, it's not. It's a segment we do on our show called The Second Date. So I'm calling today about a guy that you went on a date with. His name is Luke.
I'm sorry. I don't know who you're talking about. I haven't gone out with anybody named Luke.
What?
You haven't gone out with anybody named Luke?
I've been married for like 3 years. I haven't gone out with anybody.
What?
You've been married for 3 years.
Yes, I'm very happily married.
Did you?
By any chance, are you married to a guy named Luke?
No.
Did you
No, I think I would know.
Did you go out to drinks with a guy named Luke and you didn't realize it was a date, maybe?
No.
Do you know any Luke?
I have zero clue what you guys are talking about. Really? Can you be more clear?
Yeah, sure. I bet you'd appreciate that, and probably your husband, too. Wow. We got an email from a guy named Luke who said that he went out with you. He said that he met you when he was at your office applying for a job. He had a job interview. He said he was in the lobby trying to open the door but couldn't get the door open right, and you helped him out. And then you guys... Is that...
Oh, no. Okay.
So wait, that part happened?
Yeah, that part did happen. I think I just realized who you're talking about.
Okay, so you do know a Luke.
I met a Luke a couple days ago. He came in for a job interview.
Okay. Did you go out for drinks with him later on?
Absolutely not. No, I was interviewing him for a position at our company.
Wait, you were the one doing the interview?
Yes.
This doesn't make any sense.
I'm so confused.
He said that he just met you at that office and struck up a conversation. You guys went to drinks, had fun, even kissed at the end of the night, and now you're not calling him back.
He said we kissed?
Yeah, he said that you guys kissed and everything seemed to be going great, and he was surprised that you didn't want to go on another date with him.
Oh my God.
He even went into like graphic detail about the kiss, about how it was wet and you licked your lips.
Jesus Okay, look.
So wait, you didn't kiss him?
No, there is no way. No, absolutely not. Let me just tell you what actually happened, because this is bizarre. Okay, I'm tired of hearing all this stuff. Okay, look, This young man, Luke, came in for a job interview, brought him into my office, sat down, interviewed. We went over his resume. He was kind of fidgety. He was kind of acting a little strange. And I sent him on his way. And in the last couple of days, I've been getting flooded with emails, phone calls, messages, asking about the job.
Oh, my gosh. So you didn't even hire him?
No, he has not been hired.
He told us differently.
What was he like in the job interview?
He was just kind of all over the place. You know, he just wasn't an ideal candidate. I don't know. He was acting strange. Maybe he was stoned.
Stoned? Come on.
What is happening?
That is Luke. He was actually on the other line listening to this conversation and wants to talk to you. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I finally found a way to get you on the phone, Antoinette.
Weird. So you were just using us?
Okay, Luke,
Hi.
I've already told you you haven't been selected for the next round of interviews. I sent the letter out several days ago. I'm sure you received it by now.
What is going on?
Yeah, I got your email, and that's why I've been emailing you a bunch of times. You won't even email me back once. Like, you give me one email, and that's it? Just a dismissal? Outright dismissal?
So wait, Luke, you lied to us about your date and everything just to ask her about a job.
Yeah, it's a lie. Sure, call it a lie.
Well,
you guys
Luke, that's what you did. That is the definition of a lie. You told an untruth to get on the air with us and ask her about a job.
Yeah, I had to tell you a story so that you guys would actually pick me and use me on the air.
I will applaud you. Good story.
Yeah, I mean,
it was a good story.
I can't hate on you necessarily for getting over on the show. It just, couldn't you have thought of a better way to do it than to just lie to us?
Listen, I did what I had to do, man. Sorry that I had to lie about it. But you know what, Antoinette, we wouldn't even be on the phone right now if you would have just given me the job that I deserve.
Oh, my God, crazy.
You know, I'm sure that you did prepare, Luke, but unfortunately, you're just not a good match for our firm.
That's bullshit. All right, I'm the best candidate for that job, and I know it.
Excuse me, Luke. No, you're acting extremely unprofessional right now.
I'm unprofessional. You are unprofessional. I deserve answers. Why? Why am I not getting this job? I've been putting in all this effort.
Luke,
I need
like I said, we found a more qualified candidate.
There's nobody more qualified than me. I saw everyone coming out of that building. Look at my resume and see all the experience that I have.
You know, I looked at your resume, Luke, and I'm the one calling the shots. This is not how you go about getting a job.
You sure getting a radio station to call you and ask you about a fake date is not the best way to get a job, Antoinette?
Yeah, look at all the trouble I went to get these people to contact you. You are unreachable.
Luke, and if I ever had any thought about reconsidering you for this job, you have absolutely lost that opportunity.
If I'm not qualified to be the face of your company, I don't know who is. I stood outside of that office for 3 hours, and I watched every single candidate come out of there, and not one of them is as qualified as me.
You stood outside the office building for 3 hours?
Yes, because I do my research. And you know what? It shows that I care.
Oh my gosh, Luke, I mean, I get that it can be frustrating to be out of work and looking for a new gig, but this is not the way to do it, man.
Well, I can't catch up. Damn it.
Oh, dude, I'm sorry.
I'm
It's
sorry,
okay.
Luke, but I think you need to be a little more level-headed when interviewing for a job.
I've got other work to do. Can I please get back to my actual job?
In 1 second, I will let you do that, Antoinette, and I appreciate you telling us what happened. But I do have to ask you, would you like to go out on a second date with Luke? Or a date with Luke?
You're freaking kidding me, right?
Well, I got to ask the question. It is a second date. I know it turned into a crazy job applicant trying to use us to get at the person who wouldn't hire him, but would you like to go out with Luke?
At least give me a shot at an internship or something. You know, I feel like I've proven myself.
You've proven how crazy you are, Luke. Okay, you know, look, I wish you well. Okay, good luck in the job search, but there's no job for you here.
You know what?
I am going to get a job eventually. And when I do, I'm going to make sure it's in the same field, and I'm going to take down your entire business. You won't have a job.
Wow.
I don't have a place to go to work.
Yeah, okay. You get a job at another mailroom somewhere and take our mailroom down. You know, I'll be waiting.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Practice makes perfect with pretty much everything you do, right?
Yeah, that's true.
That's why if you haven't been out on a date in a long time and you don't have a lot of practice, you're probably going to screw it up.
I see what you mean.
And that's what Doug thinks he did with his first date with a girl named Rachel that he met online. He's on the phone with us right now to do a second date update. And apparently Doug hasn't been out on a date in a long time and thinks that maybe his nerves got the best of him. What's up, Doug? How are you?
I'm pretty good. How's everybody over there?
Not too bad, man.
Doug. Where'd you-
So how long has it been, first of all, since you went out with an actual woman?
It's been close to a year.
That's okay.
I guess it's been a long time because I got out of a rather long relationship and was just waiting for the right girl and the right time.
So you met this girl, Rachel, online that you want to call today.
Yeah.
And what did you like about her so much?
Obviously, her profile pic is very attractive. She's super cute. Our conversations online just seem to have like a really good taste and chemistry to it.
Okay.
And she's just got some really cool interests.
You said that you think your nerves got the best of you.
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, what do you mean by that?
Well, I hadn't been out for a while, and I don't know, it was just, I tried to go in preparing a little bit.
Like, did you prepare like everything that you were going to say to her?
Like cue
Like
cards?
you had a script or what?
No. I saw these really nice flowers in the store, and I got them for her.
Okay.
I just thought that she would really like them.
Did she not respond well when you brought her flowers? I mean, that's always a nice gesture.
Yeah, I thought, I just tried to do things like that.
But that doesn't sound like nerves.
Well, I did something else that maybe, I went a little too far and my nerves got the best of me. I read her a list that I wrote at dinner, and it was a list of 10 things that I really liked about Rachel.
All right, yeah, that's a little cheesy there, man. So you before the date, you sat down and wrote out a list of things that you like about her.
Yes, it was things like I really like your smile. It lights up a room, and you have a weird sense of humor like mine.
I guess you know what? Hey, Doug, I never really asked you. How long did you talk to her online? I mean,
we were talking for a couple of weeks.
Okay, because you didn't meet her and then it was the next day you're going out and you already had this list.
No, there was a little bit of
And a list of 10 things is a long list. What number did you realize maybe I should stop?
I guess maybe around 6.
Well, it would have been kind of a jerk thing to be, here's the one thing I like about you, Rachel.
Yeah.
There's one.
Did you tell her that you were nervous? Did you just fess up, be like, oh, God, I'm sorry. I haven't done this in a
it
while?
was kind of like that moment when I got to the middle of it where I was like, oh, I'm really nervous. Maybe this wasn't the right idea.
What was her reaction after that?
I mean, she got a little quiet, but then, tried to laugh it off, I guess.
Okay.
I did notice as we were leaving the restaurant that she left the flowers, and there was that weird, awkward moment of like, do I go back and get them, or I don't know. I was kind of nervous.
You should have gone back and got them and then followed her back to her house. And delivered. So when you said goodbye to her, did everything seem cool? Did you agree on a second date? Did she seem into it, or?
I walked her to the car and I got a little peck kiss. And I don't know. It seemed like she didn't have to kiss me for any reason, so I felt like that was a good moment to end on.
Have you asked her out since?
Yeah, I texted her, very positive things, that I had a great time about the date, and maybe we should go out again soon. And all of the responses that I was getting from her were really short. It was like, sounds good, and then nothing. And I was like, how's your day going? She said, It's okay.
Yeah, that's the worst when you're like, how's your day going? Fine.
Are you-
All right, that sucks. Or when you just get a K back about something. Want to go out sometime? K.
I mean, I didn't think it had gone that bad, but it was my first date in a long time, and I was admittedly nervous. And I know that I can do better.
So you want to call her, get her on the phone, ask her if you did something wrong, and then ask her on a second date.
That's what I would like to do, yeah.
All right, we're going to play a song, come back, see if we can get her on the phone and get your second date update, okay?
Okay.
All right, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
I wish people would take my advice and stop trying so hard. Like, try just hard enough. Like with everything. Everything gets better when you stop trying. Like, I used to really try to do a good job at radio and everything else, but once I stopped caring, the show's ratings are better than ever. Like, once you just give up and don't try so hard, things get good. And Doug is on the phone with us right now, and I think that's his problem on his first date with a girl named Rachel who he met online. He tried way too hard by showing up with flowers. That's not the bad part. But making a list of the 10 things that you liked about her, Doug, and then reading it to her at dinner, probably a turnoff.
Probably at this point, yeah. I'm willing to admit that.
You meant well, but unfortunately, since your date, all you've been getting is one-word answers from her and no second date. So we're about to call her, see if we can get her on the phone, and then ask her if it was the list of the 10 favorite things about Rachel that turned her off and is making her not want to go out with you again.
Doug, why don't you just scrap this one and start new? I mean, you haven't dated in a year. Maybe you need to get a couple other dates under your belt. I mean, why is it so important for you to get a second date with this girl?
It's kind of two reasons. I really like her, and I want to prove that I'm not a nervous weirdo loser. I think that I let my nerves get the best of me, probably because I hadn't been on a date in a long time, you know?
You want a do-over, second chance.
Yeah, a second first shot.
All right. Well, I'm going to dial the number right now and see if we can get her on the phone, okay?
Okay.
All right, man. Hang on.
Hello,
Hi, is Rachel there?
this is Rachel.
Rachel, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
I'm sorry, what?
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning, the radio show.
A radio show?
Yes. It is a morning show,
Uh-huh.
and we're calling you to see if you'll come on the air with us for a few seconds and talk to us.
Why?
Because you recently went out with a listener of ours.
I did?
Yeah, and he emailed us and wanted us to call you and ask why you're not going out with him on a second date.
Okay.
His name is Doug, and I'm sure you probably remember Doug because I'm assuming he's one of the only dates you could have gone on that made a list of things that he likes about you.
Hopefully.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know Doug.
Yeah, you do. Okay, so Doug emailed us, right? Said that he had a great time with you, but since your date, he's been getting like one-word responses from you, and it's obvious that you don't want to go out with him again. But Doug really wants to see you and is wondering if he did something wrong when you two went out, and if you wouldn't mind telling us what that is.
He's fine. He was a nice guy. He's just, if you guys talk to him, can you just let him know that I said thanks so much for the date and that he's a really nice guy?
Okay. Yeah, we'll talk to him about this whole thing, and I appreciate you staying on the phone with us. I do. I just want to ask you, because he told us about everything, and he feels really bad about making a list of the 10 things that he liked about you. Doug, I don't know if he shared with you, hasn't been out on a date in a long time, so he's a little out of practice. You made him nervous because he likes you a lot. Was it the list?
I mean, the list was weird. It was definitely one of my more awkward moments on a date.
Okay.
But, yeah, I was nervous and it was fine and I understood. And that was okay. That wasn't the main problem.
Okay, well, do you mind telling us what the main problem is?
You
'Cause
guys.
Doug wants to know.
I don't want to come off as sounding like weird and rude and petty, but he kept making really weird faces, like a nervous tick almost like, I don't know, like Tourette's of the face. It's so hard to explain. It was so weird. And I wanted to ask if there was something wrong with him, but I felt it was too rude to do that.
Yeah, that's understandable. Hey, what's wrong with your face on a first date? So
yeah, exactly. And I mean, he was so sweet, and he was clearly so nervous, and he's a good person. I really couldn't see myself doing that.
We don't know much about Doug other than he listens to the show, and he seems like a nice guy when we talk to him. Is it obvious that he has a facial tic, or do you think, what do you think he was doing with his face that made you so uncomfortable?
Honestly, you guys, I have no idea.
What did it look like?
So weird. Like he was in pain. Like every once in a while, it would do this weird, like, grimace thing. But it was just, like, totally random. Like, nothing was going on.
Did you ask him if he was okay? Like, if he was honestly in pain, or?
I did never feel like there was a right time to do that. Because it was always kind of in the middle of stuff happening. And all of a sudden, he would just throw this face. And I'd be like, but it can't be like that. Because that'd be really horrible and rude.
Oh, we got the faces back.
Rachel.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I can't take it anymore. I have to interject here.
Hey, Rachel, that's Doug. He's actually on the other line.
Oh, God.
Hey, Rachel.
Hi. I'm sorry.
Oh, my God, this is so embarrassing.
Are you okay? I mean, really, I can ask you now because I'm not sitting in front of you, but are you okay?
Well, I had a surgical procedure recently, and I thought I was doing a really good job at, like, concealing it. But I was actually in a lot of pain.
What?
And I was, I guess I was just so taken in with you that I was trying really hard to ignore the pain that I was actually in.
Doug, what kind of surgery did you have?
Well, I had a really kind of unfortunate bicycle accident.
Okay.
And so embarrassing to be doing this on the radio. I basically injured myself downstairs.
You had surgery on it?
Yeah. I was mountain biking with my buddy, and I went off a little jump, and it just landed wrong.
Terrible.
Ouch.
Yeah, I strained some muscles down there.
Doug,
man, that sucks. I'm sorry, dude.
You were talking to her for weeks. Why didn't you just wait?
Well, because she's so wonderful, and I know that if I waited, that someone else would just snatch her up.
Rachel, are you still there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, my gosh.
What do you think about that? It wasn't a weird face thing it's a weird something else that he has making his face do that.
Oh, geez. That's awful, and I cannot believe you went through our whole date without saying anything if you were in that much pain. That's crazy.
I was really just trying to focus on the great time that I was having and that I thought we were having.
You are so sweet, but please don't, sacrifice your body for a date. Oh, my God.
Rachel, what if Doug would have said, hey, let's go out maybe a couple weeks from now because I got some problems, some strained muscles down south. You would have been pretty understanding about that, wouldn't you?
Well, I mean, I probably would want to know a little bit more about what's going on and, the long-term effects and all that stuff. But, you shouldn't, don't, throw yourself under the bus on someone else's behalf. That's crazy.
But you're so great that I thought it was worth it.
Doug, is everything going to be working in the future in that department? I'm just looking out for her best interest. That's all.
Yes, the doctor said that I'd be back to 100% in another month or two.
Oh, look at
All right,
so you'll have to take things slow if you guys continue to date.
So, Rachel, would you like to go out with Doug again, knowing what you just learned? We'll pay for a second date if you give him another shot.
Only if he's well enough to go.
Okay, Doug, are you well enough to go on a second date, or do you need a couple more weeks?
I'm good to sit at dinner and, things like that, taking it slow, but we couldn't probably.
I think we know what you're saying, Doug. All right. Well, congratulations, and we'll send you guys out on a second date for some dinner. We'll pay for it, and then anything else is up to you guys and Doug's timeline.
Follow your doctor's orders.
Yeah.
Rachel, I'm so happy. Thanks for giving me another shot. I will definitely make it up to you.
Only if you take better care of yourself.
Yeah, he'll make it up to you in about 6 to 8 weeks.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
I would start off by saying today's second date update is going to be a little different, but we've actually done this a few times. One of them has worked out, the other one didn't work out very well. But James is on the phone with us right now, and he wants us to call a girl that doesn't live in the state.
Hey, James, a 50-50 chance is better than any other chance we've ever given on second date update. So you're already doing good.
Good, I'll take it.
James wants us to call a girl that lives in San Diego, apparently. James, how did you meet her, first of all? What's her name?
Her name is Cammie.
Cammie, okay. How did you meet Cammie?
I met her at a club, actually.
At a club, all right. So it was one of those situations like you're on one side of the dance floor, she's on the other side of the dance floor, you locked eyes and then met in the middle and
You know,
danced it out.
It was kind of like that. It was.
All right.
Maybe that sounds corny, but that's sort of what happened. I saw her across the room. She was with this bachelorette party, and
oh, okay. So they were already
There
drawing
it
a
is.
lot of attention to themselves, right?
yeah, I guess so.
And usually if a girl, like her friend is getting married, she's in that sort of like vulnerable state, like, I want to meet somebody.
Yeah.
That's what you were thinking? You're like, all right.
Yeah.
Perfect time
Sounds
to
great.
pounce.
Were you guys pretty drunk when you met, or did you feel like she'll remember you if we do, in fact, get a hold of her?
Yeah, she'll remember me. I mean, we've been talking a little bit. Absolutely.
Yeah, I was going to say this is kind of different because you're not technically being blown off by Cammie. It's more of that you live here and she lives in San Diego.
Yeah, that's definitely, a big part of it.
Have you talked to her about any of that at all and let her know that you want to date her regardless of where she lives?
We did kind of get into that at the end of the night. I was just like, listen, this is a real connection. I feel something here. I hope you feel something here.
Did you guys, make out at the dance club, too?
I did, after a while, kind of go in for it, and she sort of stopped me, and she said, hey, this is fun, but I'm not from here. I'm only in town for this bachelorette party. I don't know if this is a good idea, but I was persistent and persuasive, I think, and we did end up kissing. We did end up making out a little bit.
Never give up.
Never give
Just shows you, kids, you can do anything you dream.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, so you guys did kiss a little bit, so at least she's interested in you physically.
And what has she said about long-distance relationships, or have you just not broached that topic at all?
We haven't talked about it too explicitly. I don't want to scare her off. I just want to show her that this is something I'm ready for and something I'm open to.
So having us bring it up is not going to scare her off.
Yeah, who knows?
I mean, if you guys have talked a little bit, have you straight up said, I want to come see you in San Diego?
I did. That's kind of the last thing we talked about. I said, hey, I want to come out. I want to see you.
That is really intense. Is that something you said at the club, or did you go back to your place?
That was at the club, but it was after we had been talking for a while and, really hitting it off. And it didn't feel crazy to say, it felt like a real honest thing in the moment, if that makes sense.
So what did she say to you when you were like, hey, I'll go to San Diego right now?
She said, I don't think that would be a great idea.
Oh.
Okay, so she's actually said that, but you still want to call her and try to come see her.
Well, she was out at this bachelorette party. She had a lot of stuff going on. It was kind of sudden, but
so this was that night when you met her.
Yeah.
Okay, I was thinking you guys were texting about it. All right, so that night she said, no, you can't come see me. You were already asking to come down and see her that night. Maybe that was a little too much for her.
Or she's not single. That's the first thing that comes to mind when he says that.
No, I don't think that's true. I don't.
She
think
made out
it
with
would-
you.
Yeah.
If a girl makes out with you, it still doesn't necessarily mean she's not single.
I know that. I know. I'm just trying to look for some sort of silver lining here
Sometimes
for
people
James.
cheat,
Yeah,
just to let
maybe
you
a
know.
little bit. It does happen,
No.
I guess. So what are you hoping to get out of this? You already know that she lives in San Diego. Do you want to be like, hey, can we date long distance? Do you want to say, hey, I want to fly down there and go out with you? What are you hoping to accomplish?
I see this girl as a real potential long-term partner. You know, I feel like there's a real future there, and I'll do what I need to do to make distance work. You know, I feel like there are options. It's 2014. You know,
Wow.
there's Skype.
That was quite a night at the club.
Well, you know, I don't meet a girl like that every day, and it was special, and I don't want to let it go. You know.
Well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, okay?
Okay, sounds good.
All right, man, hold on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
All right, James is on the phone. He wants us to call a girl named Cammie. She's actually from San Diego, was in town for a bachelorette party. He can't really tell if she's into him or not, but he's willing to do whatever it takes to get another date with Cammie. James, let me ask you this before we make this phone call. You met Cammie in the club one night.
Yes.
Why is this so important to call her and try to go on a second date with her? I mean, this happens all the time. You meet someone in a club, you hang out for a little bit, maybe even kiss at the end of the night like you did, and then you just chalk it up to, hey, that was a fun night. Like, what is it about Cammie that is so special that you want to call her and either fly down there or get her to fly up here? I don't know, however we're going to do it to get you a second date.
Well, she's not just another girl in the club. She had this quality about her that was just so attractive to me, and she's the kind of person that I feel like I could really see myself with.
Are you hoping that this is like some big romantic gesture and she's just going to fall head over heels that you call the radio station to do this?
I mean, maybe, you know, I want it to work out. I want to do whatever I can, you know?
You've been texting not a 206 number this entire time, right? Like, she for sure lives in San Diego.
Yeah, it's an 858 number.
Okay,
Okay.
sometimes
Listen,
girls tell lies to people they meet at the club.
Yeah, I know. I just can't get this girl out of my head, and I really appreciate you guys making this call for me.
All right. And just to make sure, she was at a bachelorette party when you met her. She wasn't the bride, right? She was one of the other girls?
question.
No.
Okay, we never asked that because if she was getting married, that could be a problem for you. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
though.
maybe.
All right. Well, I'm going to dial the phone number right now, see if we can get her on the phone, and then ask her for a second date or
A date.
anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You ready?
Oh, God.
Yeah.
Hello,
Hi, can I speak to Cammie, please?
this is Cammie.
Hey, Cammie, how are you?
Fine, how are you? Who is this?
My name is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning. It's a morning radio show.
Okay.
We broadcast out of Seattle.
Okay.
We're calling you because you recently met one of our listeners when you were in town at your friend's bachelorette party.
Okay.
I'm sure you probably know who I'm talking about.
Yeah, I do.
James talked to us about the night that he met you. Nothing but great things to say.
That's nice.
And
Okay.
he said that you guys have been texting a little bit, and he already told you that he wants to come to San Diego and go out with you. But you're kind of cold to that idea. You don't like that a whole lot.
Yeah. No.
Okay, is it something that has to do with James? Did James do something wrong?
No, it's just far away, and I don't. It just doesn't feel like a really great idea to me. And I told him that already. And
Right. If you were in Seattle with James, would you go out with him then?
That's a no. That's a no, Cammie.
Cammie, was it just too weird? Like, did he want too much out of a one night, met at a club type of situation?
there's nothing wrong with him. He's really lovely, and I'm flattered, I guess.
Well, Cammie, that hesitation after I said, would you go out with him if you're in Seattle? That's kind of saying no. So, no, you don't want to go out another date with James?
I do. Okay, well, I'm in Seattle right now.
You're in Seattle.
Yeah, I don't live in San Diego. I live in Seattle. I just said that because I sort of panicked and I didn't know what to do, and I felt like it's complicated. And
What do you mean by complicated, though?
Why did you tell him that?
I was living in San Diego, and I moved up here not that long ago from San Diego. So it's not a complete lie. It's just not a current truth.
It's not a total lie. Okay, so why lie to him, though, instead of just saying, no, I don't want you to go out with you. I don't want you to have my phone number.
Or I'm just not interested. Like, it's not that hard to say
Because
that.
it's not just that I'm not interested. I am interested. I think he's really lovely. If we had met even, 2 months ago, I would have said yes.
Do you have a boyfriend?
So I have a daughter, and she's 2.
Okay.
And I just recently, the reason I moved back to Seattle is I moved back in with her father.
Oh my God!
All right. Are you guys?
You're in a relationship and you're in Seattle.
Is that pretty much a recap of it? You're a different person. You're getting back with the father of your child.
Yeah, but it's something that I'm doing because I think that it's the best thing for my daughter, and I'm not sure yet if it's actually the best thing for me, and I think that's why that happened in the club that night. I think that
So you're not officially back with your baby's daddy?
We're trying it out, and we feel like it's nice for our daughter to not have to be shuffled back and forth between 2 houses, between 2 cities, so we're trying it.
But you're obviously not completely sold on the idea if you are this hesitant about even admitting that you're back with him.
No, I guess I'm...
Okay. Well, then maybe we can get James to convince you to go out on a date.
This is the most
Because James is actually on the other line right now listening.
Oh my God.
And heard what you just said.
Hi, Cammie.
Hi.
I'm shocked that you live here.
I know. I just couldn't really deal with the situation very well, and it felt easier to just not be here, to say I was in San Diego.
I'm also pretty surprised to find out that you are in a relationship and have a child.
Yeah, lots of things that you learned today, James.
Obviously, I'm a little thrown for a loop and a little, taken aback, but that doesn't mean that I'm not still totally attracted to Tammy. It doesn't mean I'm not still interested in you.
That's impressive.
I understand. What?
That's impressive, James.
He said attracted, so maybe Cammie is just really
Maybe
hot.
she is from San Diego.
Yeah.
Cammie, would the father of your baby think that you're cheating on him if he heard any of this?
It would not really be helpful in the time that we're here trying to give this a go. So, no, this would not be good.
I'm just impressed that James still wants, Cammie, no offense. I don't know you at all. From what James tells us, you're a great person. You sound nice to me. But if I had found out all this stuff about you, I'd been off the phone already. Like a long time ago. But James, you still want to go out with Cammie?
You know what? Yeah, I do.
But
Wow, that's a lot to be dishonest about up front.
why? Everything she told you wasn't true about who she is.
Look, obviously she has a lot of stuff going on in her personal life, and that's not something she's going to tell me right away. She can't tell me all of that stuff right away.
Yeah, don't come over to my house because my baby father kind of boyfriend is there.
And baby.
Yeah.
Sure, but I know that she was dishonest with me, but frankly, I'm willing to give her a pass if she'll be honest with me from now on.
Well, I think then I have to honestly tell you I'm not available. I can't right now.
Cammie, what if I pay for it? What if I pay for it?
No, Cammie, you're doing the right
hey,
thing, Cammie.
give me a second, please. Let Cammie answer.
Oh,
Cammie, I would love to pay for you to go out on a second date with James or a first date.
Yeah, we didn't really go on a first date.
Yeah, first date. You can tell him all about yourself, who you really are.
The relationship you're in.
Yeah, you can talk about everything. We'll pay for it. Will you go out with James one more time?
No, I can't. it's already gone way beyond what I ever intended for it to be.
All right.
If I was in a different season or time in my life, I would absolutely go on a coffee date or a
So,
camp.
in the off chance that your current situation doesn't work out and you break up with the father of your kid, you'll go out with James again? You'll keep his number and maybe get a hold of him?
Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll call you guys, and then
Cammy, before you go, I just want to say that I think you're an incredible person, and I will wait for you.
You'll
What?
You're gonna wait and see what happens.
I'm gonna wait.
In
I'm
hopes.
gonna wait.
How long?
Wow, Cammy, how do you feel about that? He said that he's gonna wait and see what happens in your current relationship so that he can possibly go out with you.
I do not think that's a good idea.
No.
Well, it's what I'm going to do.
James,
We'll see how it works.
Good luck,
But
James.
I believe in it.
Cammy, since you won't
Yeah.
go out with James again because you're currently living and trying to get back together with your baby's daddy, can James at least babysit from time to time so he can see you when you guys have a date night or something?
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Need LASIK? Trust the experienced team at the LASIK Center at Evergreen Eye Center. No glasses, no contacts, no limits. What will you do? LASIK at evergreen.com.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
In today's second date update, a dude named Chris emailed the show about a girl that he wants to call. Her name is Sasha, and he went into such detail about her beauty. Like, the whole email was all about how beautiful she was. It got to the point where I had to literally go read the email alone by myself in the bathroom.
Oh, you are so gross.
She sounds
Come on,
hot,
man.
Chris.
Yeah, no, she's bomb.
Oh my God, you're agreeing
Yeah.
with him? Like, what is wrong with both of you? Okay.
Well, you didn't read the email. You would have been in the bathroom, too.
Well, apparently, it's everybody hot and bothered. Who is this mystery woman?
This girl named Sasha. Oh, man, she's so hot.
Oh, man.
Your email said that you feel like you're playing out of your league a little bit.
Yeah, no, like, I'd say, like, I'm like, felt like 6 out of 10. This girl's like a 12 out of 10. Oh.
Wait, where did you find a girl that's a 12 out of 10?
It's actually at this charity auction that I went to.
Oh, so she's got a good heart.
She was like setting up, and I was like, oh my God. Like, I look across the room, like, this girl has to have like hundreds of thousands of Instagram followers. Like, she is just like insanely hot.
What was she setting up? Was she part of the charity or was she actually on staff?
No. She works for the charity over there.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah. My buddy Joe was with me, and I was like, yo, you see that girl? And he was like, yeah, you don't have a chance, man. I was like, no. So I like walked over there, and I was like, hey, I need help bidding on something. She's like, oh, yeah, what's up? You know, I was like, I'm trying to bid on a date with you. And I was like,
That's a nice cheesy line.
Oh, my God. Did that work?
it almost worked the first time. And she was like, what are you talking? I was like, I will give $100 to charity to go on a date with you. And she actually like laughed.
She laughed. She laughed right at your face.
In my face, and was like, $100? Sounds a little cheap to me.
I'm with her, dude. If you're going to pony up money for charity, you better be talking a lot more than that.
That's a lot of money, $100.
Yeah, I mean, just for a date, and then I still have to buy dinner and everything.
Right?
Yeah.
But no. I was like, okay, what about 200? And she was like, you got a deal.
Okay.
Awesome.
So you purchased a date, basically.
I donated charity.
And what it sounds like is she'll do anything for that charity.
So did you get the date, or did she just have you donate and then not call you back, and that's why you're emailing?
I mean, like, it took a couple weeks. You know, I would text her, and she'd be like, I'm busy with this. You know, I have this work stuff. But after 2 weeks, I got the date.
Oh, man.
Nice. Congrats, my man.
I bet you were nervous leading up to that night.
Oh, man, I was so nervous. But I took her out to this really nice Italian place. It was super romantic. I figure I got one shot at this. I got to do it right.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Man, that's a lot of
And
pressure.
how was the actual evening with her?
I got to know her, and we had a lot more in common than, like, I could have ever thought. You know, like she likes sports. We're both into like charities and animal rescue, that kind of stuff. I was just blown away. I was like, this girl is the total package.
Oh, that's awesome. Now, did you get a sense that she felt the same about you?
I definitely did. Like, I would say something and she would laugh, then like she would say something and like I would laugh, and we just had a lot of moments where we connected on just so many different things. It was crazy. It was just like the dream date.
Okay, well, how did your date end?
So at the end, we were walking back, and I was like, "Hey, actually, I forgot to bid on something in the auction. I forgot to bid on our first kiss."
Oh no!
Oh God, you can't stop with the lines.
Should have quit while you were ahead, Chris.
Yeah, how much for a kiss? Okay, now you're just turning her into a prostitute.
No. She actually said, "That's not allowed." It actually came with the bid.
That's what she said? That was her response?
Yeah, no, I kid you not. She leaned in and kissed me right there.
Oh, congrats!
Oh my
Wow.
God.
Okay.
Chris, you are in love.
I totally am.
Then why the hell is she not calling you back?
That's what I can't figure out. I mean, it's just in the next 2 days, we were really like texting like a lot, back and forth. But then, as the week kind of went on, it was less and less. And the next week it was barely anything. I was trying to get her to go out on another date. I kept getting not much of a response.
And did you send her anything inappropriate?
No, I was a perfect gentleman, I promise.
You didn't send her a picture and go, how much to touch this?
It's like, how far can I go
Nothing
with
like
this
that?
charity auction?
Yeah.
No. I promise, guys. I don't know. I'm like, why would she kiss me at the end of it if, the date was going horribly?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's got to be 20 other guys that are lining up for dates with her because she's just so hot.
All right, well, we'll play a song, come back, call her, and get your second date update, all right?
All right, thanks, guys.
Yeah, man, hang on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
If you're just joining us for today's second date update, Chris is on the phone, and today he wants to call a girl named Sasha. They met at a charity event. He used a very cheesy pickup line to get her to go out on a date. He walked up to her and said, "Hey, if I donate some money to this charity, would you go out with Daddy?" And
Didn't
I
say
think I'm adding the
daddy.
daddy part, but anyway, that's the line that he used. She agreed to go out with him. They had dinner. He said it was a great time. They even ended the date with a kiss, but now she's not calling him back. We're about to get her on the phone and find out why. All right, Chris, any last thoughts before we dial her number?
Man, I don't know. I just don't date girls like this,
Okay.
I can't figure out what's going on, so I'm dying to know.
And if it is something where she's found a guy who is hotter, smarter, I don't know, better in some way, do you think you can convince her to downgrade back to you?
Well, it's not a downgrade, but yeah, no, I could. I think I could. We had such a good connection,
Yeah, totally. It sounds like a great evening.
It's okay to admit it because you said she was out of your league. It's okay to ask her to, come play on the JV team for a little while.
Hey, this JV team is great, okay?
Best
All right.
JV team out there.
Okay, I'm going to dial her phone number right now and see if we can figure out why she's not calling you back. Here we go.
Hello.
Hi, is this Sasha?
Yes, it is.
Hey, Sasha, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
What?
Are you familiar with the show?
Yeah, but what are you calling me for?
Well, I'm calling you because somebody recently sent us an email about you.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What'd they say?
Well, they said that you are incredibly attractive and you're also really smart and really funny.
Okay.
And they also said that you're not calling them back and they're upset about that.
Oh my God, you must be all those things if your answer is okay. I'd be like, who? Who said that about me?
she's
No
like,
one
"That's-
ever says that about me.
That's definitely me. Okay.
Okay, so who is this?
All right, I'll just tell you before you hang up. His name is Chris, and he met you at a charity auction.
Oh my
You guys
God.
went out to dinner.
Yeah, we did.
Well, Chris emailed us because he said he had a great time with you, but now you're not calling him back.
Yeah, it's just not going to work out between us.
Really?
Oh, that sucks.
I mean, you
Can
only
you tell us why?
I don't know. It's like Emotionally and physically, it could be there, but there's just like no texting chemistry at all. Like, it's just not there for me.
Wait.
It's not there.
Hold on. So, like, emotionally and physically in person, it's good, but on text message, you guys are missing something?
Yeah, it's just like he doesn't know how to text, and I just can't, like, it's horrible. I can't.
Huh?
What do you mean he doesn't know how to text, though?
Like, he doesn't text with memes or photos. Like, there's like, sometimes I forget to even, like, reply. I'm just like, where'd he go from here? You know?
I'm kind of in awe right now.
Okay, why would that, like, surprise you? Like, when you're texting a boring person, it's way too much work to keep it going.
You know what? I guess I kind of understand what you're talking
No.
about. I've texted with some people, and their answers are just short. Their use of punctuation just seems so rude, and I'm like, I don't even want to text with you anymore.
What kind of options do you guys have that your deal breaker is how a person texts? Like, most people's deal breaker is like, I don't know, they don't have a job or they live with their mom or something. Like, that just seems so shallow to me.
Well, I mean, I just need to be entertained, okay? And I like to laugh and have fun. And if I'm not getting that, then, oh, God, I was just bored as
But wait.
Okay.
I just need one more piece of clarity, though. Like, you had a lot of fun on the date, and in person you laughed a lot. It's just via text that you don't like this guy.
Yeah, I mean, in person, like, I'm there and he's there. So, of course, it's like not as much work. But in the texting, it's like, I just need it to be more natural.
You are so not matching the description that he gave of you, of being smart
Yeah.
and charitable.
You don't even know me, and I am all that. But if it's not there, if the chemistry is not there in the texting, which is so important, I mean, God, you must be like old or something that you don't appreciate how important that is.
Okay, even if I am old and I don't get it, isn't it something you can work on?
Honestly, if you saw some of his texts, no, it's just not there.
Either you have it or you don't, I guess, Sasha.
Whatever.
Well, I'm glad that we can put him on the phone with you right now to talk to you over the phone rather than text you because he's on the other line listening.
He's not on the phone.
Yeah, he is. Chris?
Yeah, right here.
Oh, my God.
So you think I'm boring in text, huh?
Well, you heard it, so yeah.
Oh, brutal.
But, like, what about, like, the date? The date was so much fun, right?
Yeah, but that's just like one part of it. You know, we're not always going to be together and we can't always be physically there. So how many more K's and for sure and ha-has can I take? I just can't.
I don't know what you're looking for in text messages. You want more pictures? You're
I'm
crazy,
looking
right?
for like some substance, you know?
Okay.
Anything that's funny and not lame.
I mean, not exactly like you're sending like the most interesting texts and stuff. You're like, hey, I have work. Sorry, gotta go.
Yeah, but I bring other things to the party, you know?
What does that even? What do you bring to the party?
Don't make me say it. You know what I bring.
What does she bring?
Yeah, what is she bringing?
Come on, you know I'm really attractive and
Oh,
you know.
okay. So you send pictures of you being hot to Chris, and you think Chris should be sending you some more entertaining memes or whatever, and having a little more fun.
Yeah, why? Why not? Sure.
Chris, is this the same person you went out on the date with? Because the person you described wasn't basing all of her assets on her looks to me.
That's not all that I have. I have so much more than that. I'm really insulted by that, to be honest with you.
You're the one that said what you bring to the party is your attractiveness. That was on you, man.
That's in addition. That's not all of it. So, like, maybe you need to turn up your hearing aid because I was talking about texting.
Man.
Sasha, this is just crazy. Like, we were just having normal text, and I thought we were having a a good time, and you didn't say like, hey, like you're being boring, or like just give me a heads up, Sasha. Tell me something.
Well, I don't understand why I have to spell it out for you.
Because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
That's why, Sasha.
I mean, it's stupid, but texting is the reason that you don't want to go out with me again. Like, sorry, I'm not like the most awesome texter in the world. I'm a great guy.
Do you really still like her, Chris?
I would go out with her again because I don't know why she's being this crazy on the phone, but in person it was awesome. So yeah.
You're right, Sasha.
Okay,
you
well-
are that hot.
Well, let me ask, Sasha, I have a feeling you're going to give me a very honest answer because you've been very honest so far about everything. But would you like to go out with Chris again on a second date? We will pay for it.
Honestly, not really.
Huh. Not where I thought you were going to go with it at all.
Yeah, so you guys are having a lot of fun and laughs over this, but I honestly believe that the way you text with someone can really show you if you're like soulmates.
Wow.
What?
Emoji heart that.
Sasha, you don't want to just go on one more date?
Still wants to
Let it
go.
go, man. You're better off without her. Come on.
I don't think so, Chris. Sorry, it's not a successful second date for you.
This is crazy. I can't believe this is happening.
Well, you can believe it, and don't text me anymore because I really don't want to have to block you.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
You don't have to block your boring text.
I don't think she's kidding, Chris. I think she's
No.
serious.
Wow.
Yeah, see, that would have been an okay text if you did the W's with all O's and then added a cool emoji after it. It might have worked.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
A lot of text messages about today's second date update. One text at 78592 that says, that girl is so basic, I could smell the pumpkin spice through the phone. If you missed today's second date update, Chris wanted to call a girl named Sasha. He thought she was amazing and beautiful, and they had a really good date. We got her on the phone, and she wasn't calling back because she didn't like the way he texted.
You know what? Like I said, if she has that many options, I guess good for her.
Yeah.
Wow.
Apparently, she's incredibly hot. And a lot of people are texting in at 78592, calling her all kinds of names because she sounded shallow. And then there are others who are like, I just want to see what she looks like. And I'm working on it. I'll see if I can figure that out.
But seriously, that guy still wanted to go out with her after all all of that.
That's what happens when you're hot.
Like, that is
So we
on
have to-
him at some point, okay?
We
That's
have to
his
see a
fault.
picture of her. We have to. Remember, if you want to do a second date update, all you have to do is email the show, and we will call the person who didn't call you back.
Moving 92.5.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
One of the greatest moments in life is after you hook up with someone and then end up running into them somewhere else.
Oh, it's
Isn't it?
so awkward.
It's kind of fun, though. A little bit.
No, not at all.
It's happened to me quite a bit with this one girl that I keep running into, and she's always with her boyfriend when I run into him, and I'm like, yes, lovely. That's kind of what happened with our second dater today, Jocelyn. Hey, Jocelyn, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. The email that you sent in to us said that you hooked up with a guy named Nathan, then saw him for a second time, and now he won't call you back, right?
Yeah.
Explain what happened.
We were partying in Belltown. It was really late at night. And a bunch of my friends were there and a bunch of his friends were there. And we were kind of hanging out. And he's super funny. And he has kind of like crazy eyes. A little bit like funny and crazy.
That's a good quality? I'm confused for a second.
Yeah, like a stalker?
No, like you know how certain guys have buggy, crazy eyes that are sort of like they zone in on you, and when they tell a joke, it's super funny because their eyes get really big.
Those people are usually on television on the 5 o'clock news.
Yeah.
So what happened? You met this dude with the crazy eyes at a bar. It's late in Belltown. Then what?
I went back to his place. We hooked up, and I had to run off in the morning, so I just left my number.
Okay.
And I took off.
All right.
And a couple days later, he texted me and asked me if I wanted to meet up for coffee.
Did you guys actually meet?
Yeah, we actually did meet up.
Uh-huh.
The only thing that was a little weird about it is that when I first walked up to him, he said, "Can I help you?"
Did it seem like he didn't recognize you?
Kind of, but he's funny, so I kind of thought that it was all part of his funny personality.
Okay.
I can see, though, sometimes when I see people in a different place and I actually met him, it takes me a second to like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
it's you. Like, even if it's someone who's like my dearest friend.
Yeah.
Or it sounds like this guy has like Jose humor, where he's
Right.
like, "Oh, really funny joke that I'm doing."
What were you? I don't remember.
So after you did that, did you guys have coffee and sit for a little while? What happened?
The weird thing was we had coffee for 5 minutes, and he gets this text message and says, "I have to go. My roommate's locked out of the house." And then he, like, took off, kind of without any further conversation about it.
Was it just pretty quick? Like he just bolted?
Yeah, and he kind of was like, "Oh, man." You know, he acted like, "Oh, I can't believe it."
Yeah.
But I'm a little suspicious that he ditched me.
So that's the last you've heard from him, is when he got the text message and he left.
Yeah.
How many times have you tried to reach out to him?
I've got pride. I texted him once and said, "Hey, hope it all worked out with your roommate and you're not both locked out," it's whatever. And never heard back from him.
You know, a lot of people will be judgy and say, well, it's because you gave it up on the first night, but he actually took her out to coffee. I'm just confused why he would ditch at that point. Like, why would he even contact her again for coffee?
If he was, I mean, I'm just going to say it. If he was drunk the night when they hooked up, he may not have remembered exactly what she looked like.
Like, she may not be to the caliber he remembered.
Yeah. I mean, that's a possibility, Jocelyn.
How dare you?
I mean, I'm
mean,
preparing you for the worst, okay? It's probably not that. I'm just saying that could be a possibility. It's happened with me in the past, all right? Probably on both ways. There's probably been girls that have hooked up with me and then saw me the next day and were like, "Oh, gross." So, I mean, that's just what happens when you drink, okay? All right, we're going to call him in like 3.5 minutes, all right?
Okay.
All right. Hang on. We'll play a song, come right back. Call him and get your second date update.
92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Remember, if you want a second date update, all you have to do is email us, brookandjubal@moving925.com. We'll call the person that didn't call you back, just like Jocelyn is about to. Jocelyn, you ready to give Nathan a call?
I'm ready.
For people who are just tuning in, Jocelyn hooked up with Nathan, left the next morning, gave him her phone number. They met up for coffee for a second. He acted like he didn't remember her. Then he claimed to have gotten a text message from a friend and left after like 5 minutes.
Whew, that was a good summary. I feel like I'm in a soap opera.
Thank you.
Good job.
Are
I'm out
you-
of breath now.
You got a little mad at Jubal when he inferred that maybe the guy didn't like the way you looked anymore. Are you open to criticism? Because that could be what you're going to get.
I looked cuter than he did, I'm just saying. But
Okay, I like that.
Okay.
I like that. Keep that with you. Keep that with you.
That's the good attitude to have, all right? All right, I'm going to call him right now, okay?
Hello?
I was looking for Nathan.
Yeah, this is Nathan. Who's this?
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the morning. I'm moving 92.5. How are you?
I'm good. What's up?
Not much, just calling to check on things, see how life is. All that kind of good stuff. You doing all right?
Yeah, did I win something or what's going on?
No. I'm calling you because we do a segment on our show called the Second Date Update. It's where if you go out on a date with someone and end up blowing them off, they email us to call you and ask why. Somebody emailed us about you the other day.
For real? Who emailed you about me?
I don't even know if it was necessarily a date, but it's a girl that you hooked up with, and then you met her for coffee a couple days later and kind of bounced out after a few minutes, said you got a text message from a friend.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. This was like a week ago.
Yeah.
I don't want to brag, but I hooked up with a number of women, and I hooked up with a few different girls that night. And I thought this girl was somebody else.
Oh, man. You hooked up with a couple of chicks the same night, Nathan?
Yeah, I mean, it was kind of crazy. I don't even really do that much, but it was...
That much?
Yeah.
Nice.
One, you can't tell, but I'm high-fiving you through the phone right now.
I'm not. Flag.
So that's why you left when you met with her, because she wasn't the girl you thought.
She came up to me in the coffee shop, and to be perfectly honest, I didn't even really recognize this girl at first, because she was kind of a butterface, and I mean, this girl was a sea donkey, man.
Oh, my gosh.
And then when it dawned on me, I just
like made up that thing about the text. I had to get out of there.
Yeah.
Okay, can I break in here and butterface, dude?
Yes. Nathan, if you can't tell, Jocelyn is on the phone with us.
Jocelyn is on the phone right now.
Yeah, that would be the girl that you just called a sea donkey.
And a butterface.
Oh my God, do not repeat those things.
Yeah, I heard the butterface comment, and man boobs is all I have to say to that. I have a really hard time believing that you hooked up with all these multiple beautiful women.
How do you feel about what he just said, though?
I just don't believe what he's saying. No.
You don't believe that he didn't recognize you, or you don't believe he hooked up with multiple women?
I do not believe that he hooked up with multiple women.
It is interesting because didn't you stay the night at his house?
Yes, I spent the night at his house. He's like totally full of it.
So, Nathan, were you hooking up with girls like in the bathroom at bars or just taking them back for a quickie at your place, or what was going on?
I've seen this other girl a couple times, and I actually went and hooked up with her at her place before I went out that night, for one. Then, yeah, I hooked up with another girl at the bar, and then I met this chick when I was pretty blackout.
Wow.
What a good night for you.
It was a good, I'm telling you, it was a good night.
Is it really a good night? Because you're referring to one of your hookups as a butterface. Like, I'm sorry.
Hey.
Like
He was blacked out. He doesn't remember.
Be nice. Yeah.
To Jocelyn's credit, she has a nice body.
Oh, well, that's...
I've probably got the herpes now. Thanks a lot.
Jocelyn, is regret finally setting in after your one-night stand with this dude?
I guess, once again, avoid the crazy eyes.
The crazy eyes didn't work out for you this time.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Jocelyn. I mean, you know, that happens, though.
You sound resilient. I mean, that's a positive.
I mean, I'm not even having it with this guy. Like I said, man boobs. Hey, I'm not worried.
I don't think
like
he's
that.
too worried about it either. Nathan sounds like he's
that.
perfectly fine. Hey, at the end of these second date updates, we'll always ask if you guys would like to go out again for a second date. We will pay for it. Send you two lovebirds out again. What do you think? Nathan, would you like to go out on a second date with Jocelyn?
How much are you guys paying?
Nathan.
Jocelyn, any interest in going out with Nathan again?
I am not.
Yeah.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
Nathan?
Yep.
Thank you for your time, man. I appreciate you giving us an honest answer.
Thank you.
Congrats on hitting for the cycle. I think that's what it's called, right?
What does a cycle
It's a
mean?
baseball term.
It's a grand slam.
I don't know. It just means that he did 3 girls in one night, and I'm proud of him.
Oh, gosh. Guys.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Yep.
No, don't appreciate that.
Absolutely.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal's second date update.
Not only does today's second dater think he knows exactly what he did wrong on his date, all of his friends are telling him that he did something very wrong.
Uh-oh.
Alex, how are you?
Hey, I'm all right. How are you?
Good. Thanks for your email. Appreciate it.
My pleasure.
Oh.
Or my pain.
Oh,
What?
my pleasure, my pain.
Alex isn't getting a call back from a girl named Courtney. And Alex, tell us about Courtney and your date.
Well, we met on eHarmony, and I've done online dates before, so I know that they can be kind of awkward. So this time I tried to, like, alleviate some of the pressure and go to, like, a lunch date.
Okay.
And we went to Panera.
Oh, yeah. I don't like it. But...
I like Panera.
That's a strong reaction, Jubal.
So you went there and you had food.
Well, it seemed to be good in that, like, I didn't feel much pressure on me, and she didn't seem to feel much pressure on her. We were chatting, and we talked about hobbies. Obviously, one of my hobbies got mentioned. I don't know if you've been to a Comic-Con before, but
I haven't.
Pretty fun.
They look like actually they do look like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's like it's a fun hobby, and I figure you're supposed to talk about hobbies on the date. So
The Big Bang Theory is the most popular show on television.
Yeah.
Nerds are very in.
It is very popular right now. It's chic, Alex, to be a nerd.
yeah, but I thought it was pretty good talk we had, better than usual, I would say, for other online dates that I'd been on.
Can I just ask one personal nerdy question, Alex? I got to know, what do you dress up when you go to Comic-Con as?
Well, there's an X-Men named Gambit.
Oh, yeah.
Gambit?
Nice. I love
That's awesome.
Gambit.
The guy that throws the cards, right?
Yeah. Is that Gambit?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, well, I don't want to brag, but when I go as Gambit, I go all out. You know, trench coat, purple abs, the oversized playing cards. Pretty much have it all.
All right.
Do you do the thick Cajun accent as well?
I try to. I guess it's hard to maintain, but I do my best.
Full character, though. Nice.
Awesome.
Now, when you told her that you dress up and go to Comic-Con, did she seem weird about it?
I don't think she did. I think she, if anything, you know, I guess maybe I'm having difficulty reading her, and that's why she's not writing or calling back. But I thought it was just like a regular conversation topic. It's just that when I mentioned it to my friends, they're like, "Oh, that's the problem."
When you ended the date with her, was everything good? Did it seem like there would be a second date?
It seemed like it. I mean, it wasn't like a real romantic in the middle of the day, so I just sort of gave her a peck on the cheek, but she didn't seem to, like, push away.
Well, that's good.
It was like when she was walking away, you just snatched a peck on the cheek and then ran away.
Drive-by kiss.
Yeah, so she was there for the peck on the cheek. She liked it.
In my view, she did.
Okay.
She didn't resist.
Who could resist you, Alex?
Oh, yeah. You sure you're not leaving anything out, Alex?
Not that I can think of.
How many times have you tried to get a hold of her?
Well, I don't want to be too obsessive, so I just left a message and then called at a different time and didn't leave a message, and then I sent a couple of texts, but the texts were in succession.
All right, Gambit, well, hang on. We're going to play a song, come back, and get your superpowered second date update, all right?
Okay.
All right, man, hold on.
Moving 92.5. Brooke and Jubal in the mornings. Second date update.
Hey, Alex?
Yep.
If this second date update doesn't work out for you, trust me, there are plenty of girls out there who would love to date a guy who dresses up in costume at Comic-Con. Lots of texting at 78592 saying they would love to meet you and go out with you.
Cool.
I will even strictly address you as Gambit or Remy LeBeau from here on out.
You know how excited he got?
Oh, hey.
Alex is on the phone with us right now about to do a second date update. He emailed us about a girl he met named Courtney. Courtney isn't giving him a call back after their date. They went to Panera Bread for lunch. He thinks he made a mistake when he told her that he dresses up as Gambit for Comic-Con. And all of his friends agree with him and said, dude, you shouldn't have told her that. She's going to think you're a nerdy guy and not want to date you. I have a hard time believing that would scare a girl away, just knowing that you do that. Because like I said, at least you're passionate about something, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Alex, we're going to give her a call right now. You ready?
Okay.
Here we go.
Hello?
Hi, can I speak to Courtney, please?
Hi, this is Courtney.
Hey, Courtney, how are you? This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning on Moving 92.5.
Sorry?
This is Jubal from Brooke and Jubal in the Morning on the radio station Moving 92.5. You got a second?
Sorry, what's this about?
I don't know. Do you listen to the show at all, Courtney? Have you heard the second date update before?
Yes, sometimes.
Sometimes, okay. You recently went out on a date with one of our listeners who wants to do a second date update on you.
Oh, geez. Okay.
His name is Alex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you been on many dates other than with Alex lately?
Not really, but...
Did you like Alex? Did you enjoy your date?
Oh, well, he's really nice. This is really weird. This is really strange.
Courtney, let me ask you a question. Alex talked to us, and he shared with us that he thinks the fact that he told you that he dresses up for Comic-Con might have been a turnoff for you.
Oh, he is... I don't know. I didn't really know what it was, and he was trying to tell me about it, and I went home and I just Googled it because I didn't really know what he was talking about.
Uh-huh.
And it's like grown adult people but dressing in costumes.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure that's fun for some people, but it was like really strange. Like he let off with that. Like, by the way, I'm really into Comic-Con, and I don't know. He was showing me this costume of somebody like I've literally never heard of, and it's just the strangest thing in the world.
Okay, so that was it then. He's like just too into Comic-Con and comic books and dressing up as characters for you?
Well, that's mean to say, like, that's it. Like, if one hobby, like, no, thank you. I mean, right?
So you just didn't like him?
No. I like him. I totally think he's, like,
really sweet. I really don't want to say anything bad about him, like especially on the radio, you know?
Do you have bad things to say?
No,
Okay.
I don't want to say something that's not nice.
Well, if it's not that bad, he's the one that wants to know anyway. So you're kind of doing him a favor by letting him know if he screwed up on the date in some way.
I mean, he didn't do anything, like, he didn't screw up. He wasn't mean to me.
Well, what was it, though, that turned you off?
Well, I mean, it was awkward. He shows up, like, we went just for, like, a quick lunch, like, totally informal.
He told me Panera Bread. You lucky lady.
5-star.
Yeah, Panera. It was, I don't know, it's like a neutral location in the middle of the day, right? So, but he like shows up, and I feel really bad that I just laughed about this, but he's wearing these like denim shorts that I haven't seen since like since I was like a kid.
He's wearing like little denim jean shorts.
No, they were like little. Do you remember those like Jenko shorts from like early '90s? Like,
Oh, yeah.
It was awful. It was so funny, and I just was like, I was a little surprised. I'm a terrible person for laughing at
For
something
making
awful.
fun of his fashion.
No, I don't know. He just seemed kind of, I don't know, like he didn't have to work that hard to impress me. Like, I just feel like he was trying to put on this like macho-y kind of thing, and
Like, he was trying to be macho?
I don't know, he was just saying like weird stuff. Like he kept making jokes, and I was laughing at some of them, but like he was laughing really hard at some, like you know, just like over and over. And I don't know, just the laughing and the comments were just too much.
Like, what comments would he make? I'm just curious because I want it for my own mental picture.
He kept talking about like his work and stuff, and then every time he would like talk about somebody doing something stupid, he'd be like, "Oh yeah, like bitches be crazy." And I'm staring at this guy going like, "Why are you saying that?"
So he tags his joke with bitches be crazy. Oh, that's awesome.
It was a little weird. I didn't expect him to talk like that.
See, now I'm picturing him just cracking up in front of a bread bowl full of chili at Panera Bread. Just bitches be crazy, right?
This date is going awesome.
Hey, Courtney.
Yeah.
Alex is actually on the other line.
Are you serious?
Listening to this phone call.
Hey, Courtney.
Oh my god.
So,
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. I just said that.
well, I didn't know you didn't, you just, I didn't think the jean shorts were that bad.
It's just not sexy. You know?
I mean, I don't have like the best fashion sense, but it doesn't really matter.
As a guy who's into fashion, Alex, sometimes I wear some things that people don't understand either. You just got to go with it and be yourself. Wear it with confidence. So you wear those jean shorts whenever you want to.
That's all it's about. I mean, I think Macklemore had a whole song about it. Wear whatever you want.
Yeah, no, those jean shorts can never see the light of day again.
Oh, come on.
They were that bad, huh?
Come on, Courtney.
It's
Well,
so sweet, but they're that bad.
So Courtney, Alex didn't necessarily do anything wrong. He just isn't attractive to you because he dresses funny and he laughs at his own jokes and he has a catchphrase that he uses, "Bitches be crazy," after everything.
I don't always use that. It was relevant at the time.
How many times did you say it, Alex? Do you remember?
I don't even remember saying it, but I mean, I guess I may have said it. I've said it before, I suppose. It's like
about 4 times.
Hashtag, you know?
It's like a hashtag.
That's a verbal hashtag.
Courtney, I liked you. Maybe I was nervous because I thought we had a connection. I thought you liked me back, too.
Oh.
Courtney, is there any way that I could convince you to go out with Alex again and give him one more shot?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
He sounds like a nice guy. He just can't dress very well. Yeah. And we can get him to lay off the "bitches be crazy" line, even though I like it.
Yeah.
Will you go out with him again? We will pay for a second date.
You know, I feel so bad that I just said all that stuff. Alex, you're such a great guy. I just don't think I'm the girl for you. I just didn't really click with a lot of the jokes, and, you know, I don't really understand all the, like, sci-fi references, and I'm really sorry.
Alex, you need a girl who's a little more your speed. Someone who's into jean shorts, Panera Bread, and great one-liners.
Bitches be crazy.
Yeah! Alex, there you go.
Never change, man. Never change.
Brooke and Jubal in the morning.